organization called Teen Success Inc. And we are a nonprofit that serves high school age young mothers. And we have a program for them that encompasses both peer learning and coaching, one-on-one coaching. And the aim is to help these girls graduate high school and hopefully pursue postgraduate education. And we really focus on both helping the mother and her child break the cycle of poverty in their families and succeed in school and in life, you know, as parents, as students, as mothers, and just, you know, lead the best lives that they can.
That's great. That's excellent. Yeah. So how, what are some of your goals as far as you want to, are you redoing your whole website? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so the website as it is built on an old Wheatley theme that isn't even supported anymore. And we'd like to change up a few things. For example, having our logo in the top left of the website. We really want to use it as a tool to build trust with our donors and our potential donors. And we want to also make it very storytelling focused and donation focused. And so what that's going to require is kind of revisiting the structure of the site as far as the site map goes, and also, you know, the content on the pages. And so, you know, I want to bring in more, you know, more graphics, more photos, and really just make it very digestible, both either when you're looking on desktop version, which is most of our users actually, but also mobile, because it is starting to go in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And so what are some of your top priorities as far as what you'd like to, you know, discuss in this session?
I'd really like to take a look at the homepage. That's the first and foremost, the biggest piece. And so I want to make it, like I said, donation focused. I wanted to really tell the story of Teen Success Inc. So, you know, why it is that we are focusing on high school age moms, because, you know, statistically, there's only 38% of teen mothers on the national scale ever graduate high school. And even though teen pregnancy rates are on a downward trend across the U.S., there's specific, you know, places, especially low income or places, you know, places where people are living in poverty, where the teen pregnancy rates are still high, and they still affect, they mostly affect young women of color. And so that's something that people don't necessarily know or think about, and they're like, wait, what's the problem? So we really want to spell out on that page what's the problem and what Teen Success is doing about it.
That's great. It sounds like you have a very clear vision, and you've done some research. I saw in some of the other documents you sent me that you looked at like the page ranks, and so it sounds like you've really done a lot of homework on this. So I think that will be very, very helpful. So I have, so you sent me various documents and various materials that you had. So I think maybe what I will do is share my screen, and so we can look at some of those documents together. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. So here we go. So I think, so let's see, I have this sitemap that you sent me, and then I have kind of some of this information that you sent me in an email today about the objectives, some of the features, and then even a wireframe that you had done.
Yes.
And is this wireframe an idea for the homepage?
This one is an idea for one of the interior pages, and it was done before I'd really finalized the sitemap. So it's a page where I really love the look. Like, I like that it, you know, on the bottom has focus on photo and like quotes from our members. It's going to call out the stats really easily. So it's more of an example of kind of the direction that I want to take the website in.
Okay, great. That's very helpful. So let's see. So let's take a look at the site as it is now. This is the home page. And so, yeah, so you have some kind of these call to actions like join, you have a little bit of the story and a link to donate. And then here are the existing menu categories that you have. Some of them have kind of sub menus in them.
Yes.
Do you want, and then let's see, let me compare this to the site map. Are there some of those categories that you're getting rid of or that you want to add to?
So and part of it is it's condensing. So what I envision is that it will just have empower her rather than our approach. We'll have programs like our program, and then the section for teen moms events. I think the about section can just be moved as individual links to the footer. In that plan that I sent you, there's links to that, just because those pages don't get a whole lot of traffic. And I think that, we want to make our mission front and center, and that kind of information can be put elsewhere. One issue that I see is that our donate button goes to a third party platform. So it's still ours, but it's away from our site. And I don't necessarily want people to leave if that's not their intention. So I was almost thinking of having like a secondary navigation where that donate button could kind of be on top of the others.
Oh, okay,
And really call out that button. I've read that for nonprofits, people are looking for that specific button in the top right-hand corner. So I'm thinking logo top, donate on the right top.
That's great. Yeah, that definitely aligns with a lot of other sites out there. And I think when people go to a nonprofit, they have something that they expect to see. So you kind of want to fit in with the standard template. So that's great. And I really like this idea of kind of simplifying the navigation a little bit, because especially with some of these sub pages, that can be a little bit much. So I think
it's a lot. Yeah.
I think you have a great start. So let's. So yeah, and I like this idea that you have of having the main navigation and then having kind of all of the links in the footer. So all that stuff is there, but it's not kind of overwhelming you in the top. So I think this will be really useful. See, one last thing. In your message, it looked like there are some things that you have planned for the future, this phase 2 and phase 3.
Right. Yeah. So in the future, we really want to build the site for. So we have 3 main audiences. The donors or potential donors is the first audience, which is the one that we're trying to address first. The second audience is our members. So the young women that are in our program who come to our website looking for information, like, is the program near me? Like, what is it all about? How do I join? And then the third audience is our community partners. So these are the people who help us implement the program. So we work through a partnership model where we provide the curriculum, the financials, the training, all of the infrastructure, and the thoughts, the vision behind the program. And we partner with organizations that are already well established in the communities where there are a lot of teen mothers. And so then they implement the program. So we want for our website to also be a resource for them to either say, this girl just came by our place, I want to refer her to this program. Or maybe a social worker is looking for a place for a young mother to go and find support. We want to be able to give those people access to our site as well. So that's phase 2 and phase. I mean, you can almost call it a phase 3, but that'll be the next thing that we tackle.
I see. So these are things that are not on the website now, and so right now you want to focus on the donors.
Yes.
Okay, got it. That's very helpful. Great. I love that you have objectives, the themes, focusing on the donors. So what I did before our call is I created a Balsamiq Cloud project, and I just tried to drop in this top level sitemap of what you had. And then I saw in your email you wrote this goal of building trust and getting them to donate. It seems like those are kind of maybe the top two things that you want to focus on, especially on the homepage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And then is this the sitemap that you had in mind? So let's see. Let's look at this. About, program, empower, teen moms, and then donate.
You know, we can take out the about section. You know, after I was sending you these, I really think that can, you know, live in the footer. I think that these are the main things.
Okay, great, great.
Way.
I have a question. What is the difference between our program and then these empower and teen moms? Are those
So
go ahead.
So the program is really talking about what the program for young moms entails. So it's the details, you know, what they're getting out of the program. Like, for instance, you know, we're doing early literacy for their kids. They're getting one-on-one coaching. They are, you know, we're focusing on social emotional learning. So it's really like the details of what the program is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the how of getting a young mom to her graduation day. The Empower Her page is about, we are currently in the midst of a fundraising campaign, a 3-year fundraising campaign where we want to serve triple the number of young moms that we do now. So right now we serve around 200 to 250 young mothers and their children every year. We want to get to, you know, around 600 every year. And so what that is expanding to new locations. We have 9 locations across California, and we have another program in Reno, Nevada. And so it's expanding our locations and also increasing the number of young women we serve in our current locations. And so that campaign is to raise the funds to support that new infrastructure and to support all of those new families that we aim to serve.
Okay, great. That makes sense. And then the teen moms that's kind of your ongoing main thing that you do?
And then the teen moms is for young women. You know, they come there and they're like, oh, you know, what is Teen Success Inc? You know, a friend told me about it and now I'm researching it. And what is Teen Success Inc for me? What is it? What does it mean? So right now it's a very simple page that says, you know, you come to a peer learning group and you get coaching. And if you're interested, here's how, you know, here's a link to contact us. So it's a very simple kind of for moms. So in phase 2, I envision really building this out more and really speaking to them and making it appealing for them. Great.
So the goal of this is you want to reach out to young moms and kind of start to build a community, help them build or join a community?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Start to build a relationship with them. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then the Empower Her is meant to be a fundraising campaign with a specific objective. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. Is the let's see, the program page, do you have kind of an existing page for that, for what you want for our program?
So the program page is really if you hover above our approach. Mm-hmm. So the program page would kind of be condensing all of the information that you find on these pages down into like one piece, because we kind of repeat it across the pages, and there isn't necessarily very clear call to action. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it just needs to be, this is what the program is, this is the action that we want you to take. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's for donors. We need to simplify how we explain what we do to them, and then say, you know, support this program, support our young moms. and donate.
Got it. So the call to action, what would the call to action be for that section, would you say?
The call to action would be donate.
Okay.
Get involved, donate, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. This is a very good start. Let me try to remember one last thing. You said that, I think you said that there were 3 pages that you wanted to focus on, the home page, and then was the program page one of them?
Yeah, the home page, the program page, and I would definitely start with those 2. I think
Okay.
those are the most important.
Okay, great. Well, so let's try to get started.